Stephanie, one of the last questions I wanted to ask you, and you feel free to answer this in any perspective you want, broadcast journalism or otherwise. What advice do you have for young people?
My advice for young people would be to go for it. Go for it. As cliche as it sounds, if you have an idea, if you have a passion and you're confident that you're good at it, and you've heard from others that, hey, that may not be a good idea, maybe you should try something else, just go for it. There will always be naysayers. I've heard plenty along the way. I remember when I went to Officer Basic Course, it's the first schooling that you do as a brand new second lieutenant out of Army ROTC. I did ROTC in graduate school. So as a commissioned second lieutenant, you have to go to this course to learn your job in the Army. I remember sitting around, and I'll never forget this conversation. And this was back in 2006. And I'll never forget it because I sat there and I knew that I wanted to go into news. I had graduated with a bachelor's in journalism. I knew this was my path, but I mentioned it to someone. I said, right after this course, I'm going to try and get into news. I'm going to stay here in Columbia, South Carolina, because I was training on Fort Jackson. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to get some local news experience. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to work at the network one day. And they shot it down so quick. They said, oh, everybody's got dreams. They never come true. And that stuck with me. I'm like, who is he to tell me what I can and cannot do? Especially someone who's so young and starting out and has an entire, career in front of them. You just never know. So all of that to say, if you got a dream and you've got a passion and you want to do something, go for it. Find the avenues, find the mentor, find somebody to study so that you can achieve your goal.
Go for it and ignore the naysayers. I'm sure that, if I were you, I'd be bragging a lot more than you are, told you so.
I wish I remembered that guy's name, but I don't. Because I'd find him on Instagram now. I'm just kidding. No, it's all good. It's all good. He was probably trying to give some good advice.
Well, that is going to conclude our conversation with Stephanie. Stephanie, thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me.